Ladies and gentlemen, please save me from the monsters, for this is a Fred the Alien Productions podcast.
You
Yeah,
best
make sure to
start believing
switch
in.
5 times. Light switch 5 times. Let's go.
Yeah, not autistic at all.
Or
Everyone's
OCD.
got the tism. Everyone's got the tism.
Cue the music.
I don't know what we're yelling about! We came, we saw, we kicked its ass!
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me you built a time machine? Kind of a DeLorean?
The way I see it, if you're gonna build a time machine into a car, why not do it some style?
Who is this? What's your operating number?
Boring conversation anyway.
Whoa, we're gonna have company! Loud noises!
Hello,
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Kendall Richardson.
I'm a Fulya and Michael.
And I'm I'm well, but I'm not Michael Lister.
And you are now experiencing a podcast called Fred, the
Yes.
edition where everyone has an ailment.
Yep.
Yes. Some physical, some viral, and some mental.
Yeah. Well, if it's mental, then that's every week, baby.
Welcome to our mental illness. Thank you for
Yes.
accommodating.
Yes, thank you for accommodating. Yes. Yeah. By all rights, we probably shouldn't be doing this right now, but hey,
Hey, it's a Monday.
we love pop culture. We love
do.
nerdy news too much. There's a lot to talk about. A lot of things to be excited about. So maybe the podcast will cure us of our sickness. Who knows?
Who knows?
Um, as Mike timely sneezes for us there. That's wonderful.
No one can hear that. Thank you.
Yeah, that's all right. You're editing the podcast. You can cut that part out.
I can also put it back in.
Yes, you absolutely can. Yeah, so bear with us. With especially me. I don't know if you can probably really tell that I don't sound like myself. So apologies. But we're here. It's a big show tonight, so let's get right into it with our weekly watchings. Fully take us through what you've been watching.
Okay, haven't really been watching much. Just been really busy with all other things. But I did finally finish the season 5 of The Rookie. So that is now complete. I'm now looking forward to finding another way to watch season 6 of The Rookie. Wherever I can find that, I'll have to try something. Maybe do some renting. Might go to the library, see if they've got it. Who knows?
Might fall off the back of a truck. You don't know.
Don't know.
Yeah, no.
We'll see what happens. But yeah, season 5 now done. And of course, as per usual, they always leave it on a cliffhanger. So yeah, I'm kind of like, and it's one of those cliffhangers where we don't know whether there's a character that died. We don't know whether there's a character that's still alive. It's all over the place. And I'm just like, but I need to know now. And season 6 is already done in the States. So that'll eventually be coming out to DVD at some point. So I don't know. We'll see. I also discovered that one of my favorite animes is on Prime Video, but unfortunately, the first season is not available to watch. Only season 2 is there to watch. So the videos are not available for season 1, but it's there. Like it's saying it's there, but it's just not available to watch them. But season 2 videos are available to watch. The episodes are there. So I just started watching season 2 of Kami-sama Kiss, which is one of my favorite animes. And it's really wholesome. It sort of deals with demons and just gods as well, kind of.
Demon.
So it's pretty cool. It's a rom-com though, so gods, demons, but it's a romantic comedy anime. It's good, fun. And the last thing I'll mention that I watched was an animated film, because I said to myself that I would try to at least watch some more movies this year. And I ended up watching Fireheart. So Fireheart is the animated movie of the young girl back in the, I believe, the 20s or the 30s, where women cannot become firefighters during that time. But she's got this aspiration to become a firefighter, just like her dad was or is. But it sort of gets to a point where, like, I feel like they rushed the story quite a bit, which didn't do anything good for it, in all honesty. It just felt very rushed. And then to top it off, it started off with the whole idea of, the whole equality, why can't women be firefighters kind of a thing. But then it didn't sort of end in that way. It was just more of this daughter just wanted to prove to her dad that she could be a firefighter kind of a thing, rather than a, equal rights kind of like discussion. It didn't end, that didn't, like, it just, yeah. It just got a little bit convoluted, and it didn't sit right with me. So it was all right. Like, it was entertaining to say the least for it. It was okay. I was a little disappointed by it, that's all. And yeah, it just felt very rushed. So yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing. Appreciate it. Excellent. Mike, what have you got for us?
Compulsive sneezing.
Nice.
I'm not sure if my voice is going to last this long. Anyway, let's do this. Oh dear. Well, me and the wife decided to sit down and actually watch a movie, because we were talking about it, and we wanted to watch the Substance, because it came out on Stan.
Yay.
Yes, and we both liked it. Like, really, really, really good. And I do like the story. A little heavy-handed, but in this not too distant future, that the Substance could actually perform a miracle of, and I wasn't sure which way it was going to go. Either they run out of time, or they decide to go the hubris route, and they went the hubris route, which was pretty good. And the makeup and special effects was absolutely top notch and great. I loved it, and I do like the ending, where it turned into something a bit more whimsical and sort of I don't know. It turned into a creature feature, but you can tell it's like, well, it is sort of tongue in cheek, because yeah, it's gross, and I actually felt sorry for the creature that is the end. I actually did an audible at when the creature decided to glue the face back on. It's like, I am the beautiful, and yeah, it's a good message, and yeah, props for Debbie Moore with that role. I mean, not many people would do that, something that would akin to that, and it was tasteful, and I like that, and yeah, it just, and she deserves all the awards, and yeah, and the woman that played the better version of her did an awesome job as well, and how they sort of have a relationship without being connected until stuff happens. Not to spoil it, but it's pretty good. I do recommend it, and it I had to laugh. It was like this the filmmaker is a big fan of Stanley Kubrick, and I saw a lot of Kubrick style shots, a lot of set camera, and the action just happens, especially at the start where Debbie Moore goes into the toilet and overhears what Quaid says, and you can sort of see it's like it's like watching Kubrick all over again. Yeah, it's really great, and I loved it, and just the cinematography of actually having very uncomfortable up close shots, and it's great to see it in like high definition 4K where you can see all the blemishes, and it's like, no, they need to be like pristine good, but you can actually see the wrinkles and everything, and they're supposed to be these Adonises, and just close up, and then I do like the juxtaposition of both of both Sue and yeah, I do like it. I did like it, and my wife liked it too. and gross. Sometimes just absolute gross. And I do love that. It just tickles me. It's like, yeah, I do like my body horror every now and again, and it was and tasteful nudes as well. So yeah, all good. Needs more rewards, but I don't know what happens at the Oscars because I was working. So the only thing I watched was the monologue, the start of monologue with Conan, and that's it. That's all I need.
Uh-huh.
Just Conan being Conan.
Yeah, pretty much.
Having said that, I've officially finished all of Daredevil. I sat down to watch because I only had season 3 to do, and oh my god, season 3 is the best season. And
someone else said that to me recently.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was absolutely gobsmacked that that they decided not to do anymore. But I'm so glad I did, and I have a much more appreciation of every time Charlie Cox's Daredevil turns up. It's like, yes, we need more of Daredevil. I like Daredevil. He's probably my favorite now. He's my favorite. Yeah. We haven't talked about it, but the cartoon of that recently came out of Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, Daredevil's in that, being voiced by Charlie Cox as well. So I have a sneaky suspicion that they'll probably make references to Spider-Man in Born Again. And that comes out this week, and I cannot wait. I'm going to be sitting down to watch that in all its glory. And Vincent D'Onofrio is just awesome. And I just found out that he's in his 60s. It's like, wow. That does make sense. But he still looks good. Yeah. I'm really happy. And that's basically it. Just mostly trying to finish off Daredevil. But what a good week it was to finish off Daredevil. Will I go back and watch the other Defenders? Maybe, because there's talks that they are going to reintroduce like Jessica Jones and Luke Cage and Iron Fist into the new era of Netflix Marvels into the new MCU, and just jiggery pokery of it being canonical. But yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy that I finished it, and it was great. And I do recommend to finish it. But Kendall, you've got like 2 days to.
I buggered myself. It's not happening. Yeah.
You'll be on the quick foot.
Yeah. Good luck to me. Miracles somewhere, somehow.
But you know, you didn't watch it when he turned up in No Way Home, Far From Home.
She-Hulk.
She-Hulk
And Far From Home, yeah.
and Far From
Or
Home.
no way home, yeah.
A little bit of Echo and
Mhm.
and Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, where he plays a variant version of himself, but still voiced. So they're still bringing in Charlie. He's good. He's really good. Yeah, so that's basically it. What about you, Kendall? What have you been doing for your week that wasn't struck down with colds and stuff? What'd you do?
What did I do? Well, yeah. Well, it was my last week of my time off work. So did watch a bunch of more things. Some rewatches and some new things. I'm not going to mention everything. But I'll mention 4 things just quickly. I watched Minority Report. My partner showed me that for the first time. Never seen it. And yeah,
Your
really
partner
liked
in crime.
it. My partner in crime. Yes, partner in movie crime. Yes. So we watched that, and yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. Really cool sci-fi thriller movie, done really well. Obviously, it's Spielberg, so yeah, and Tom Cruise is quite good in the movie. So very good for having finally seen that. And then I watched a couple of Australian things last week. One of which is a movie that's about 30 years old now, called Cozzy.
Hi.
Yeah,
I know that one.
I knew that'd get your attention. Yes, Cozzy.
What was? I wasn't paying attention. Say what?
Yes. Another one. My wonderful partner showed to me because he raved about it, and I think I've heard some of the Fred crew talk about it before. So yes,
originally a stage play. So
yeah, I know. Yeah, I'd love to see it on stage now. That would be cool.
I got my year 11 version of it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
great.
I played Doug.
Oh, did you? Oh, that you would have been an amazing Doug.
I was.
Yeah.
And if you watched it today, it's like, oh, so that's where the Sydney T-shirt came from.
Yeah. Brilliant. Nice. Yeah, it was a great movie. I really enjoyed it, and especially just, for me going like, how many Australian legends can you fit into one cast? Because everywhere you turn, you're just like, oh my god, like it's just yeah, icon after icon in this film. Ben Mendelsohn was great. Tony Collette was really good. Barry Otto was fantastic. David Wenham fucking stole the show for me in a lot of scenes. He was good, and Jackie Weaver too. She was a riot. Yeah, so yeah, I highly recommend Cozzy to people to check out. It's a very good movie. Very good Aussie comedy with a little bit of drama, a bit of a feel good thing. If you love art and theatre, then it's a movie you'll enjoy for sure. And the other Aussie thing I watched this week was a mini series on Netflix called Apple Cider Vinegar, which is based on partly true story, but partly not true story. It's very interesting kind of production, but basically it's centered around the real story of the influencer by the name of Belle Gibson, who lied about having cancer in order to perpetuate her well-being business that she had. She had an app, she had a book. She was, telling everyone she had all these cancers, and she'd gotten healthy by just looking after herself and eating well and not doing any chemo and any of the usual stuff. And yeah, and then it turned out she was doing charity fraud on top of that. So that's how they got her in the end. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it was really good. It was all filmed in Melbourne, which was cool. To see a lot of familiar landmarks in the show. With a really good cast and kind of interesting because the character of Belle was not played by an Australian, which at first might make you go, oh, that's a bit, surely they could have got someone to play her that's Aussie. But I kind of like the idea that, she built her career on fraud, so therefore someone who's not actually Australian should play her as kind of
Contextually, it worked.
yeah, so I think that's kind of funny when you think about it like that. But no, the actress that played her was American actress Caitlin Dever, who's about to be Abby in The Last of Us. And
Oh.
yeah, and she's amazing, like hands down one of the best Americans doing an Australian accent you'll ever hear. I'm not even overselling it. Like, I forgot she was American by the time I was done.
Better than Downey?
Better than Downey. Probably better than Meryl Streep, even. To be honest.
We don't talk about that.
We don't talk about it. Yeah, so she was amazing. She gave a really great performance of this just narcissistic, egotistical woman who just kept perpetuating lie after lie and just would not admit to anybody that she wasn't telling the truth. And it was just, oh my god, yeah, I hated her so much. I'm like, well, the actress has done a good job then, hasn't she? So
And she's going to play Abby. So
yeah, but yeah, if you like kind of true, it's not really true crime, but like if you like kind of true story stuff that's kind of a little bit stylized and a little bit heightened in certain parts. Because you know what, I'm not going to spoil the ending, but this made me laugh quite a bit at the end. Because you know how a lot of true story stuff will tell you at the end there'll be text on the screen saying the person in real life, this is what happened to them after the completion of the story and blah blah blah. Well, the screen started typing that out, and then it stopped and cut to Caitlin Dever as Belle saying, "Oh fuck it, you can just Google it," and then roll credits. And I was like, I love that so much. So yeah. So highly recommend if you're into kind of true sort of weird stories and want a good Aussie series to watch on Netflix as well. It's only 6 episodes. You'll get through it in a weekend. So yeah. And then I have one more thing to mention before we move on out of the weekly watchings, because I went on a trip to Sydney last week.
To our capital.
To our sort of capital, I guess. Yes. Yes, I was in Sydney for a few days last week because the Australian premiere opening night of MJ the Musical happened at the Lyric Theatre in Sydney. So I went to opening night, performance number 1, and I was in the 3rd row, which was really cool. And yeah, and I can confirm it is a absolutely amazing show. All the reviews are correct and true. Like, just it's outstanding from top to bottom. All the Tony Awards won. Everything makes sense. It's just such a good presentation of Michael Jackson's life and career. Him as an artist, him as a person. Like, it's just really well handled and respectfully done, and it touches on some of the darker stuff of his life and what he went through, but it handles it in a way that doesn't make him out to be a monster or make him out to be the most innocent person either. Like, it basically sits on the line of he wasn't perfect, right? And I think that's the best way to sort of handle his story. So, and they used his music in like such creative and imaginative ways that I would never think to do. Like I'm never going to listen to Thriller the same again. The way that they kind of recontextualized what the song meant, the way they used it in the scene that they were using it in, and then yeah, just lots of scenes of older Michael looking on a younger Michael, and you seeing the pain kind of come through, and all this stuff. But then you get all this angst and heartbreak, but then you also get like these incredible dance numbers and like moments of joy and happiness, and like I don't know if it's the next best thing just to seeing the real thing when he was still here, but like for me, because I never got that opportunity, I think it's the best Michael Jackson thing I've ever seen. And the guy that is playing him in the Sydney theater run, his name is Roman Banks. He did the touring version of the show in the US a couple years ago, or last year even, I guess. And yeah, and he was so good. Like he embodied Michael as a character and not as a caricature. He was not doing an impersonation or an impression, or trying to parody him or anything. Like it was so respectful and so natural and honest, and it felt like you were really getting an insight into someone that we don't usually get to see this side of. It kind of humanizes Michael Jackson in a way that I have never seen done before. And I was crying quite a bit as well. So yeah, so I recommend if you're in Sydney, go see it. If you're anywhere in the world where it's playing right now, which I think is London and parts of the US, and I think maybe in Germany, I think it's playing in like Berlin or Munich or something. Go check it out. There's rumors it's coming to Melbourne. So if those rumors are true, both you guys, Mike, Fulya, you need to go see it. It's a freaking good time. Like you'll be. We were all on our feet at the end, just cheering and dancing, clapping. The energy in the room was so good. So yeah, so I highly recommend MJ the Musical. You don't even have to be a massive Michael Jackson fan. Like if you have an appreciation for his music and his, place as, I guess, the king of pop in terms of what he has done for pop culture and music in general, then you'll appreciate the show.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm definitely keen. I would definitely
Yeah.
like to see that show if it comes to Melbourne.
Yeah, you'll love it, Fulya. It's great. It's so good. It's so good. Yes. Sorry, I was trying not to cough and it just didn't happen. Anyway,
I can cut it out.
you can cut it out. I appreciate it.
But maybe
all
I
right.
won't.
Make it the real show. But yes,
Real, damn it.
Those are the highlights of my weekly watchings this week. So with that said, it's time then now to dive into the week that was in the nerdy news.
The nerdy news.
This is the news, the nerdy news. The nerds that talk about the nerdy news. That is us who talk about the news that is nerdy. And now the queen of nerdydom, the hostess with mostess, Kendall Richardson. Take it away, Kendall.
Okay. It's nerdy news time. And we have to start with some really sad news, and I hate that. I hate it a lot, and I'm sure both of you agree. Because we lost a couple of, couple of performers that have meant a great deal to some of us here on this podcast over the years. So it's going to be an emotional 5 minutes talking about them, I'm sure, but we'll get through it as we always do. Pay our respects that we need to. Cool. Gene Hackman. I don't really need to say too much. we're all the world is kind of in a bit of a shock at the sudden loss, even though he was 95. You know, that's such a long life to live. I didn't even realize he was that old. Because you know he's just always been there, I guess, which is interesting because you know he retired 20 years ago. But he's always, for some reason, he's just always present because you rewatch his films so often, right? Like they're just so rewatchable. I recently watched, like actually in the last couple of months, I've watched a bunch of his stuff that I hadn't actually seen before. And on the weekend, because I wanted to watch something to remember him, something that I hadn't seen yet, and so I put on the Royal Tenenbaums. Because I hadn't seen that, and that was a really lovely movie. I really liked it. Like I'm still making my way through Wes Anderson's filmography, and yeah, it was nice to finally tick that one off. But just to see him in this kind of, you know, elder statesman sort of role, you know, he's the patriarch of this family, and he's, you know, made some mistakes, and he's just trying to do right by his family at the end there, and it's a really moving performance from him. So it felt kind of fitting for that to be the first thing I'd see since the announcement of his passing. And then I just have to quickly mention Lex Luthor. For me, that's like I don't care. I can watch Nicholas Hoult play Lex Luthor in July in Superman. I can watch I can watch any of them. I could just name drop them all and just be like, they're great. They're awesome. But they're not Gene Hackman. I grew up watching Gene Hackman play Lex Luthor. He embodied that character for me. And became easily one of my favorite, if not my favorite, comic book movie villain. Just his performance. I can hear his laugh in my head, right? Like that very like low and subtle snicker that he did just so effortlessly. It's just right there right now, and it's great. But he just had so much fun with the role, and brought his just epicness to it, you know, at a time when comic book movies were not a dime a dozen like they are today. And he really just elevated what could have been a campy, you know, one-note villain into a well-rounded, egotistical businessman who was just willing to do anything to have people love him and to be on top of the world and have all the money and everything. Like he's just great. I love him in the Superman movies. He really, Christopher Reeve, of course, you know, is the main thing about those movies I love. But you know, what are they without Gene Hackman as well? Like if they're not the same. So I was very sad to hear of his passing. So he will be missed greatly. And I'm going to throw to Fulya now. If you have any thoughts and feelings on the late great Gene Hackman, please share with us.
I unfortunately have not seen him in anything, or at least I've never come across him in anything that I've watched. So I'm not very well versed in his filmography, unfortunately. But just hearing what you've said, and from me doing a little bit of IMDb research, he's definitely got quite a list of credits to for everybody to have. I don't have words, sorry.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's okay.
He definitely a legend in his own right. So yeah, he's definitely going to be well missed by a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And by the looks of things, he didn't really do much after 2004.
Yeah, so that's why I said before he retired 20 years ago.
Yeah, okay,
yeah. He did his time. He had an illustrious career, 2 Oscars, and he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna have a simple life.
Yeah, that's
until
fair.
you know, for the rest of it, you know, and yeah that's cool of him. Yeah. Thank you, Fulya. I appreciate your contribution as always. Mike, how are you feeling about the loss of Gene Hackman?
Yeah, this really did bum me out, and especially the just the question mark on what happened, and we still don't know basically. But here nor there, let's just celebrate the man and his work. And yeah, I'm quite happy that that Kendall, you got to see young Frankenstein, like, and his brief uncredited cameo as
Yeah.
the blind man.
So good.
Yeah, and I can mention like a lot of stuff, but I think I've mentioned just one of his that is probably my favorite of his is definitely the Birdcage, where he played the conservative representative dad in that movie, and he just plays it very well, and just him being the straight man, and he knew what the situation was, and he played it to a T, and yeah, and all the other characters just complemented each other in that movie, and I enjoy that movie immensely, and not just because it's a Robin Williams vehicle, but also Nathan Lane and even Hank Azaria and just all of them, and including Gene in that movie. And yeah, he'll be missed. And yeah, he did retire, and he just decided, it's like, you know what, I'm done. I just want to live my life, and what a life he lived. And as one of the Lex Luthors that had hair for some reason, because
Yeah.
you know, because yeah, Gene didn't want to be bald, so he's only for 2 scenes, and that's it, and that's all you're getting. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
cool. So here to you, Gene. You'll be in cinema heaven forever.
Yeah. Absolutely. Very well said, Mike. Thank you. Okay, and then the other loss that especially our generation suffered this week was the sudden tragic loss of Michelle Trachtenberg at the age of 39, which is just no thanks. Take it back. Too young. Yeah, I've been pretty vocal on the show about my love for Buffy. It's my favorite. I adore it. I grew up on it. I grew up watching Michelle. You know, everything she did, I think I saw, to be honest. Like, she was always on Nickelodeon somewhere, or, you know, or on Buffy, or, you know, in my teenage years beyond Buffy, you know, I used to watch Eurotrip relentlessly. Like, that was one of my go-to, you know, teen comedies with my friends, was that movie. And she's hilarious in it. And then, you know, even dabbled a bit in Gossip Girl, of course, and she was there as well. So she was just kind of always around as I was going through my formative years. And yeah, just a bright presence, an instantly recognizable face, and huge talent. So it's just really, really sad that, you know, she's just suddenly just gone. And seeing all the tributes from all of her co-stars on social media following the news was really touching and kind of heartbreaking in some ways, especially because Sarah Michelle Gellar didn't post immediately, and I knew that had to do with, like, well, you know, they were friends in real life beyond the show and everything. Like, they stayed close, and then seeing Sarah's post, and, you know, she shares a bunch of photos. One of the photos is Sarah in the middle, Shannon Doherty on one side, and Michelle on the other side. And I just started, oh my God. I was just emotional. And then her caption on her post was like this quote from the end of season 5 of Buffy, where Buffy's telling Dawn, you know, to be brave and live for her because she's about to make this sacrifice. And so she switched it around and turned the names around, and when she was just like saying, "I'll live for you, Michelle," essentially by using the Buffy dialogue, and I was just like, "Oh man." It was beautiful. So yeah, so definitely very sad and shocking, this news, but yeah, I think we were very very lucky to have her as part of our childhood, our teenage years, and into adulthood. She was wonderful. So she'll be missed very much. Fulya, as a fellow Buffy fan, how are you feeling with this awful news?
Yeah, the moment I saw someone post about this, I was in quite a bit of shock. I did not expect this to happen, especially to someone so young. And yeah, I mainly know her from Buffy, playing the role of Dawn, and I have also watched the Ice Princess film that she was in, which was also
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just kind of hit me with like a ton of bricks, and I was not expecting it at all. So yeah, she's definitely going to be sorely missed for sure. And just man, 39, far out, man. That's like our age.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah. It's our generation.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
It's absolutely terrible. Way too young. Thank you, Fulya. Mike, how about you? How are you remembering Michelle Trachtenberg?
Yeah, this is pretty sad as well, because I knew of Buffy because through my sister, but yeah, growing up I was a big fan of Inspector Gadget, and she played Penny, like the live action Penny.
Yeah.
And then in my formative years, in my teenage years, Eurotrip as well. And don't want to make it about me, but she was one of my celebrity crushes, like growing up. Like, same age, and just makes sense. Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, just hits you in the guts, considering that she is close to our age, and just learn that life is precious, and you don't know how long you're going to be around, just for friends and family. Sucks. It really sucks. I will say that she also did some voiceover work as well. Like she because of Seth Green, she was in Robot Chicken a couple of times, and one of her
Cool.
And one of her first things that she did, she played a gummy bear, and that is like a happy little gummy bear, and it gets trapped in a bear trap, and and the scream that she does almost blows the mic, and she knows how to hold like that scream, and she does it twice in that skit, and it's absolutely hilarious. And the only way that the gummy bear could escape is to eat its own leg off. So yeah, so I do like Robot Chicken every now and again, and that was really funny, and yeah, she will be missed. Yeah.
Yeah, very, very, very much she will be missed. That's for sure. Okay, let's lift up the room now and move on to some hopefully better news for everyone. This next bit of news is really, really interesting. I don't know if I should have added binge to the in memoriam segment here, because binge be going bye-bye here in Australia, because HBO Max is coming to our country.
Wait a minute. Binge
Yep.
is shutting down?
No. That's just me spitballing.
Right. Okay.
Binge has been bought out.
Right. So it might as well be.
Pretty much. And HBO going, you know what? Screw it. We're just going to release in Australia because the
Yeah.
majority of people were going to binge for HBO and Max content. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, continue, Kendall.
Yeah.
No, you're fine. You're fine. That's basically it. Because like as soon as I heard this, I'm like, well, I'm getting rid of my binge subscription. Sorry, I only watched it really for the HBO stuff. I mean, yeah, I watched the occasional, SNL or maybe a movie that's on there that's not anywhere else, but that's about it. It mainly was for all the shows and everything that HBO put out. So yeah, so that's going to be happening. HBO Max will be dropping on us in Australia at the end of the month on the 31st.
Wow, that's soon.
Yeah, very soon. Very, very
Gee,
soon.
I thought it'd be like down the road or something.
No, it's happening really quickly. Yeah, so I mean, we're not the first country that it's spread into. They have gone into other markets around the world, so it's not just us. But it's finally happening here. They haven't said what the pricing is going to look like yet. That's the only thing that's got me on tenterhooks of like, oh, but yeah, hopefully there'll be some good options because I don't know what other content. I mean, I guess they'll have Warner Brothers content as well. So there will be movies, I guess, on there that are owned by the Warner Brothers Discovery Group that we can access. Like the Harry Potter films, like the Lord of the Rings films, like anything that falls under that banner. But this is cool. Hopefully, my main hope. Well, I have two hopes. One, that it's cheaper than binge. It probably won't be. It'll probably be the same, if not more, knowing my luck. And two, I just hope it has a better interface than binge.
Yes.
Because binge's interface is not great.
Okay.
It is not. The app is so glitchy. I hate it. Trying to cast anything, sometimes it'll have a hissy fit, and then like if you wanna like scan through to if you miss something, it fucking takes forever, and then like my continue watching is just filled with stuff that I have watched that I did finish, but it just sits there. I mean, I could probably manually clear the queue myself, I guess, but I'm just like, no, you should do it yourself. I finished you.
Yeah.
Go away.
Like, you got 2 minutes left. It's like, no, I don't.
No, I
Just
don't.
because I don't want to watch the fucking credits.
Yeah. Exactly. And then it's funny that it comes up with that still because like literally 10 seconds into credits of something, binge will try and play you an ad or a trailer for the next thing. And you have to be like, oh fuck, to get away from that.
Gonna be on the
But
ball.
anyway, yeah. But anyway, so yeah, hopefully HBO Max's interface is better. So we'll find out in about 4 weeks from now.
Cool.
So I'll be definitely jumping on the bandwagon, I reckon. What about you, Fulya? How are you feeling about this announcement?
Well, I've never really been using, like, I haven't been using binge, to be honest. Like, I think I only subscribed to it like once or twice. I think mainly because of certain pieces of content that I was kind of curious about, or I got a free month to try it out, and I was like, all right, let's see what's on there, and yeah, haven't really used it much. So it makes sense for you, Kendall, considering that you've been watching a lot of the HBO shows. I've been kind of curious about some of the HBO shows that have been on there, and I just never went out of my way to like pop a month just for binge, just to watch something, because I'm that type of person who doesn't stick to one show at a time. I like to watch multiple things at once, which means not one show gets done within a week or within a month, because that's how I am, depending on how much I enjoy it. But I am kind of curious. It was inevitable that it was going to at some point come down to Australia, at least. Like, I was waiting for when HBO Max would be a thing here, because every time I speak to my North American friends and they say, oh, this is on HBO Max, I'm like, well, we don't have it here. They're like, what? I'm like, no, we don't have it.
Where? I'm from a different country, you see.
Yeah.
You see, America. There is
yeah.
a concept of the rest of the world. And at the moment, we're siding with Zelensky, okay?
But yeah, I might be curious. Like you said, Kendall, really depends on how much it's gonna cost for the subscription. If it's gonna be anything like what it is with, you know, like your Netflix, or as you said, the current, how much is binge for you to subscribe for a month?
Hang on, I can't remember. It's like around the I think I pay for like the top tier.
Right.
So like the 4K screen, so it's like 20
Okay.
something dollars a month, I
Right,
think.
right, okay. So give or take maybe, I don't know, $15 for standard definition.
Yeah,
like
probably.
HD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$15
Yeah.
with ads.
With if $15 with ads will not get me on board. No way. No. Will not get me on board. But yeah, look, like I said, really depends on how much it's gonna cost me. Right now I am down from I said last week that I had cancelled my Netflix subscription, a couple of weeks ago, when I won't have Netflix anymore. So at some point, I've resubscribed to my Crunchyroll, but I get the first 7 days for free because it's the trial period, and then it'll start charging me for the month. So I'm back on Crunchyroll, and the other one that I have is Disney Plus. So right now, I've only got two streaming services that I'm paying for. Maybe HBO Max might be the other one. I don't know. It really depends on, like I said, cost and the catalog that we're gonna get to watch.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yep, fair enough. Fair enough. Mike, what about you? How are you feeling about this?
Well, yeah, I'll probably do the month free, see what they have and see what they don't have. Back when I was on binge as well, like House of the Dragon, definitely. Last of Us, so it will be good for when that comes out. So probably good timing, because I think that's coming out
Very
in
good timing.
April.
April.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so good timing.
Mhm.
Dare I say? They know how to plan well. Yeah, and when I was on there, I sort of dabble with, like, you know, all these other shows that you don't really get to watch. John Oliver, obviously, because I'm a stickler to politics and that sort of politics as well. So I'll probably give it a month, see how it goes. But yeah, definitely if it's coming out same time as Last of Us, because otherwise I'm more than happy to stay as a pirate. I'm a pirate of the Caribbean, or Caribbean, depending if you are whatever you are. Caribbean.
Caribbean.
Caribbean. I am a pirate of Caribbean. How would Matt Berry say that?
Right, of a Caribbean.
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 Quick, swab the poop deck.
Nice. Cool. Cool. I like the idea of trying it during the month trial and then making a decision. It's a smart
Yeah.
play. Yeah.
Otherwise, there's other memes.
Yes.
Memes.
Yes.
Stop
Memes.
unfocusing, goddammit.
All right. Let's move on to our next bit of news. So during the week, there was a lot of casting announcements, some pretty big ones, in fact, in here. So I'm just going to read through them, and then we're just going to take turns discussing which ones take our fancy or have us excited for what's to come.
Or not.
Or not, or you can just say to all of it, and we'll move on.
Nah, just one particular. Anyway.
Cool. So I'm just gonna read the list, and then I'll do my quick thoughts and throw to Fulya. Okay. So we've got Jamie Campbell Bower and Eddie Marsan joining Rings of Power season 3. Zendaya is going to be playing. She's going to be playing Shrek's daughter in Shrek 5, which is wild. John Lithgow is going to be portraying Albus Dumbledore in the upcoming Harry Potter series on HBO. Matthew Lillard has joined the cast of Daredevil Born Again for its 2nd season. And lastly, Jared Padalecki and Misha Collins are joining The Boys. Hey, Fulya's got the mug. Joining The Boys for season 5, the 5th and final season of that epic show. It's going to be a supernatural reunion for the last season.
The Boys.
The Boys. Yeah, so just quickly my thoughts. Of course, I'm stoked about the Rings of Power announcements here. Jamie Campbell Bower, especially, big name to be joining. Apparently, he's a massive Tolkien fan. So really happy for him. And that, definitely means that it'll translate into a good, dedicated performance. No roles have been allocated or at least announced to the public yet. So there's a lot of speculation as to who they're going to be. There's theories that Eddie Marsan is going to be a dwarf of some kind. The end of season 2, they teased Durin's brother for season 3, and they have said that Eddie's joining the cast in a recurring capacity, whereas Jamie's actually going to be a series regular, so he's sticking around for the rest of the show by the sounds of it. But yeah, I hope Eddie gets to play Durin's brother. I think that'd be amazing. For Jamie though, there's like 3 different characters I have in my head that he could play, and the 3 that a lot of the cast, a lot of my fan friends are saying that he might play. Number 1 on the list is Celeborn, Galadriel's husband, who at this point in the show is feared dead, but he's not. We know he's not dead. He's missing. So he might come back. And he's definitely got the face for an elf, so that would be really cool. Speaking of elves, he could also be playing Glorfindel, because he hasn't shown up yet either. That would be cool to see a live action version of him finally. And then the last character he might play is Anarion, Isildur's brother. Because at the end of season 2, was teased that we were going to Elendil was going to the other side of Numenor and going to reunite with his other son, as they stand up to the big changes that are happening on the island. So he could be playing Anarion, and Anarion goes on to become one of the kings of Middle Earth. So, and one of the 2 statues of the Argonath as well. So, yeah. So as soon as that gets confirmed, I'm sure I'll bring it up again. Any excuse to talk about that show, I'll take it. So I'm very excited. Very good. 2 very talented actors joining the cast. John Lithgow as Dumbledore is interesting to me, because it confirms that they're not doing what the films did and keeping it to British actors. There's going to be Americans in this show. I mean, it's going to be made. I don't know if it's going to be made in America or not, but it's American produced, so I suppose it makes sense. I find it interesting too that John Lithgow is referring, when he announced that he was playing it, he's like, "This is going to mark the final chapter of my career," basically. So I'm like, oh, that's a bit dark, John. But he's not entirely wrong, because he'll be playing this character for many years. So it probably will be, probably will be the last big role of his career. But I'm kind of interested to see what he'll do with Dumbledore. Because, I mean, we know John can do comedy as well as he can do drama, so he may be able to do what Michael Gambon did and toe that fine line between the the heightened moments and the more somber ones. So yeah, everyone will be comparing him to Michael, so it'll be interesting. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. He's very talented, obviously, so I'm more hopeful for it here. And then I'll just quickly mention Supernatural reunion in The Boys. We all knew it was happening. We knew it was coming. I mean, the fact that Misha is there is wild to me. I mean, I knew Jared. Like, there was talks that Jared was going to be in the last season as early as last year. They were talking about it, so not surprised. But Misha's there as well. Yeah, this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. I think they're just guest stars. I don't know what kind of characters they're going to play. They haven't said, but yeah, if we just need one shot, and they'll do it. They're gonna totally fan service us. We just need one shot, fucking Jensen, Jared, and Misha in the same room, and the internet will fucking implode. I'm not even kidding. Tumblr will go offline for days. It will collapse on itself.
They all should kiss.
Team Free Will, let's go. Yeah. So yeah, exciting. I can't wait. I mean, it sucks that it's the last season of the show, but I think the story's run its course anyway, so it's fine. It's fine.
Look,
yeah.
if Rob Benedict is also in it, like, why
Yeah,
wouldn't they?
yeah, exactly right. Yeah, it's a no-brainer. It's a foregone conclusion. It was a matter of when, not if, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah. Cool. Well, on that lovely note, Fulya, tell us your thoughts on all of the many castings. Obviously, you know, talk about whatever you want, but yeah, go on.
Okay. Well, I'll just sort of tag on to the boys thing that you've just said. If they're only in for an episode, that's probably the one episode I might actually watch just to see them.
Let's go. Yes.
I know what I'll expect. I know they're not doing Supernatural here. I know it's gonna be gory as fuck. But
And sexy.
just for that one episode, just to see them together, it might get me to tune in just for that one episode. And then I'd be like, I don't know the context of any of things that are going on, but I don't care.
I really hope one of them gets an exploded penis.
No. I've seen that scene. Not fun.
Why have you seen that scene?
Someone showed it to me.
Hey, Fulya, look. This is what happens if Ant-Man crawls inside a Thanos.
Oh, jeez. I don't need to know that. No. Get that image out of my head.
But you love him.
Apart from that, I think Zendaya is Shrek's daughter in Shrek 5. That is a weird one, to be fair. Honestly, why is there even a Shrek 5? Like,
Good question.
Just stop. The first one was the best one. The second one was alright. The third one was pushing it. And then after that, it just went downhill.
I think you find the second one is better than the first one.
Excuse me, but the first one's always the best one.
Nah.
Oh, fight.
Second one's better.
Fight.
Second better.
Oh,
Back to the Future 2. Second better. Empire Strikes Back. Seconds better.
John Lithgow
Godfather Part 2. Seconds better.
John Lithgow as Dumbledore was a surprise for me, but it was a happy surprise. I am not mad about the idea of John Lithgow playing Dumbledore. He can do a very good British accent. Like we've heard him. He's done Shakespeare stuff, so I feel like he can definitely do a very good sort of Dumbledore voice. And you know, I feel like he's tall enough for it too, for that particular role. And yeah, I feel like he can put in like that little bit of comedy and the drama just sort of in between both. And I think he might have the right balance for that character. I know a lot of people out there are probably not sure about it because of the amount of comedy he's done, and that he's very much the weird and quirky dad type. But I think he might actually do really well on this. I haven't seen Conclave, which is one that I really want to see. I'm actually very curious about that movie.
You should watch Conclave. It's very good.
And I feel like he's done a very good job in that, although I'm not sure how much he's in it.
I mean, he's like a supporting character, so
Okay.
like he's in it like, you know, a decent enough amount.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's good. Yeah. That's good to know. But yeah, no, I am very curious to see how he will portray this role of Dumbledore, and I feel like he might actually do a good job, in my opinion. So I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, I did see his little post of, you know, this might be the final thing he does with his career, but I think that might be his way of saying I'm gonna retire after this.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
So, and I wouldn't be surprised because he's done a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So big kudos to him. But I think that's literally all I can really touch on in terms of the casting side of things. So over to you, Michael. What are you excited about in terms of casting?
Cool about Rings of Power. I mean, it's an alright show. It's slowly becoming, it's alright. Not a bigger fan as most people on this podcast, but you know, it kills an hour a week, I guess. And the third and final season, maybe. I don't know. Don't say it so. Ooh, I'm going to throw something at you.
No, I was touching all the wood on my desk. I'm like,
oh. I wasn't being serious. It should go on forever. I hope Isildur never dooms us all. You know. Isildur. Anyway, the Shrek 5 thing. I know the discourse online is a lot of people are upset with the new design of Shreks. Of Shrek and Fiona and Donkey.
Yes.
It's like, whatever. It's for a newer generation. At least we're getting the cast back together.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that Zendaya is doing it. Because, you know, the previous Shrek, they got Justin Timberlake, and, you know, it's always stunt casting of. And Shrek was the first one to actually like go forward with well-known names to do voices. And I mean, yeah, the first was like Robin Williams and the Genie, but Shrek was more egregious of actually having them on the poster as like, yes, Mike Myers, Cameron Diaz, John Lithgow.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. It needs to come back. Yeah, the Harry Potter thing. Now, I've said I've had my piece with Harry Potter. I am not going to say this because, you know, I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. I've shut off that bit of my life. No more. Sure, it got me to read as a kid. Cool, and finally we're getting one casting after 2 years of when it first was announced. They're going a bit slow, are they?
Well, it's funny because this isn't actually confirmed by Warner Brothers or HBO yet. This was just John Lithgow saying in an interview that he's signed to play. It was rumors, and then he's John Lithgow saying, yes, I am playing Dumbledore. But it's not an official casting release from Warner Brothers or HBO.
Yeah.
So, but they're not coming out denying it. So
yeah, I do find it a bit funny that it's been 2 years and they haven't started to do anything with it, and the golden rule of only being people from the UK to do it. Are they finding it hard to cast people because no one's really interested in it?
Ooh. Drama.
Yeah. And John Lithgow's like, you know what? I'm in my 80s now. And this will be the last big thing that I'm going to do, so I can rest on my laurels. And I know he can do it. It's just a shame that he is doing it. Anyway. I said my piece. With the Boys season 5 with the with the Supernatural guys. I've never seen a Supernatural. What is that? Is this significant? I don't know. Is it because
You might be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if you actually enjoyed this show. Like Supernatural is good.
Oh yeah, it's just, there's 15 seasons of it.
I mean, you don't have to watch all of it. I think maybe up until season 8 you should be good, and then
Have
you don't
you
really
met
have to
me?
worry about the worst.
I keep on watching a show even if I still hate it. It's like, I mean, or because it's over, I can just binge watch the entire thing. It's like, yeah, it was a thing. I did the same thing with Umbrella Academy. Just so I can finish it. It's like, the last season was bad. I'm so glad I didn't have to wait until this moment. It's like I wasted 5 years of my life waiting for the next one to be good. Whoops. Oh, they travel back in time. Cool. Anyway, enough said. Yeah, Soldier Boy. We know that one. And the others. Hoping it's a 3-way orgy. I'm done.
Great.
I'm
What a great way to end that on. Fantastic. Thank you, Mike. Cool. We've got one more thing in the news to talk about. Because over the weekend we saw the announcements of the best and worst of cinema from 2024. And that is we had the Oscars and we had the Razzies happen this weekend. The Oscars just happened today, actually. At the time of recording. And yeah, I watched the whole thing live. I took the day off work for it. Don't at me.
Was that the reason?
No, I tacked it on. Well, yes, because I tacked it on to the end of my leave, not realizing that the Oscars were like, I was due to go back to work the day of the Oscars. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
No
no,
judgment.
I take the Oscars off every year. It's fine. But yes, Oscars happened. And Anora took home the big prize, Best Picture, this year. It also won 4 other awards. So it was the most awarded film of the night. It won actress in a female role for Mikey Madison for her performance in the movie. Best director, best writing original screenplay, and best film editing all went to Sean Baker, who made history as the first person to ever do that in one night. And he tied with Walt Disney for the person to win the most Oscars in one night. So that's pretty cool for him. So we also had The Brutalist winning big. It won actor in a leading role, Adrian Brody, for his performance. It won cinematography. And it won for score, which is really cool. Wicked and Dune Part 2 won a couple of awards as well. I was very happy to see that Dune got some awards, got visual effects. And I think it got... What's the other one it got? I can't remember now.
Best sound.
Best sound, thank you. It was best sound. So very cool to see Zoe Saldana win an Oscar. Gamora herself is now an Oscar winner for her role in Emilia Perez. Very well deserved. I don't think there were any of the Aussies that were nominated. Sadly, did not take home any awards. But The Substance Mike, you'd be happy to see that it won makeup and hairstyling.
Good.
Which
Well
yeah,
deserved.
well deserved, very very well deserved. And then of course, making history was for the best animated feature film, and that was Flow. It was Latvia's first ever Oscar. And so they won for best animated feature. So now I'm even more excited to see Flow when it comes out here. So it's really really cool. So yeah, the Oscars were great, and the Razzies are also a thing that happened. And I was just really happy to see that Madam Web got the awards it deserved, I suppose. Yeah, Madam Web was named the worst movie of last year. Dakota John.
Ouch.
Yeah, it was the worst movie I saw last year. Jesus Christ. Dakota Johnson won Worst Actress as well.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. But I don't entirely blame that on her. It was more about the script and how it kept changing, and the production of the movie itself was quite terrible. Worst actor went to Jerry Seinfeld for his work in Unfrosted, the Netflix movie.
I was actually kind of a little bit interested in watching that particular film. I don't know that I want to anymore.
No, don't watch it.
No? Okay.
Don't watch
waste
it.
my time. Cool.
Yeah, Lee watched it and he did not
No?
like it.
Okay.
No. And he loves comedy, so yeah.
Fair
So
enough.
that's a thing.
I
Joker
like
Foley.
jokes in my comedy.
I like jokes in my comedy. Joker Folie à Deux was nominated for 7 awards and it won 2. And also Megalopolis walked away with some awards, including Worst Director, which went to Francis Ford Coppola.
Oof.
But he celebrated the win, and seemed to kind of call it a badge of honor on his
got the
Instagram.
spoon, yay!
Yeah, he says, I'm thrilled to accept the Razzie Award in so many important categories for Megalopolis, and for the distinctive honor of being nominated as the worst director, worst screenplay, and worst picture at a time when so few have the courage to go against the prevailing trends of contemporary movie making. In this wreck of a world today, where art is given scores as if it were professional wrestling, I chose to not follow the gutless rules laid down by an industry so terrified of risk that despite the enormous pool of young talent at its disposal, may not create pictures that will be relevant and alive 50 years from now. So pretty
Okay,
well.
so the man
well said.
wasn't afraid of taking the risk. Essentially, he's like, I don't care what people think. I'm just
God
gonna do
no.
Yeah, go forward. Go get him.
God no. And one last thing about the Razzies I wanted to mention, because this is really sweet. The Razzies actually have an award called the Razzie Redeemer, where they basically not renege on something that they once said, but they kind of just go, all right, you turned yourself around, well done. And this year it went to Pamela Anderson for her work on The Last Showgirl.
That's good.
So yeah, I thought that was really sweet, because she was named worst new star for Barbed Wire in 1996. So yeah, so 28 years later, here she is, the Razzie Redeemer. So yeah, a lot of fun. I love award season. It's over now. I'm sad. It's another Oscars done for the year, but it was a really good show. Conan O'Brien did a very good job hosting. A lot of his gags were pretty funny. And there was a lot of great musical numbers. They changed things up this year. They didn't actually have every song that was nominated for original song perform. That's kind of cool. But they did they did a really cool tribute to Quincy Jones. They did a tribute to Barbara Broccoli and Michael G. Wilson, as they are now stepping away from James Bond, which it felt very Amazon's got James Bond now. I guess we better say goodbye while it's still good.
It was in the memoriam, wasn't it?
Yeah, close to it. But that was a really nice tribute as well. And I will say, Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande opened the Oscars with a show-stopping performance. I was just like, how the fuck is Conan O'Brien going to come out now and do an opening monologue and top that? Because it was really good. So yeah, so that's my take on the Oscars for 2025. Very, very cool. Very happy for Honora. And yeah. Fulya, please take us through your thoughts on the best and worst awards shows of the season.
Look, I didn't really catch it. I just saw a brief glimpse of some of the reels and images that popped up on my Instagram when I was scrolling through, and saw the amount of things, people, movies, and stuff that won awards. And I'm very happy that Flow got its, well-deserved applauds there. Really looking forward to actually watching that when I'm able to, because yeah, just hearing about everyone like just saying how good it is, and then obviously now being an Oscar-winning film, I'm just like, oh, now I really need to watch it. Yeah, really looking forward to it. So, big congratulations to the team who created Flow. Honestly, like, I don't know what else to really say. There's a lot of these films I haven't really seen myself. I'm gonna say I like big congratulations to who was it? To all of the nominees, just in general. Um, I've seen a real pain pop up in my on my Disney Plus, and I'm kind of curious on whether or not I should go check that out. And considering that Kieran Culkin won an Oscar for that show,
Yeah.
show movie. Sorry, movie. Now I'm kind of curious, even more curious than what I was before. So I might check it out. I need to watch a trailer first, though.
Yeah, it looks good. Like, it looks like a good mix between comedy and drama, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to watch it.
Yeah, I don't know in terms of like any other awards that I could really like pinpoint. Just because, like I said, there's a lot of these films I've not really seen, so I can't really put any kind of opinion on it. But production design, Wicked, that's a good win. It did sort of go very well. I did like that. I did like that movie. Yeah, I think June Part 2 winning visual effects makes sense. And sound as well. So that's interesting. Writing, Conclave. See, this is why I need to go watch that movie, because like the fact that everybody's praising it so much, and then they won an Oscar for its actual screenplay adaptation. I'm just like, okay, I'm now even more curious and more interested to actually watch it. Not that everybody else telling me to go watch it anyway, because of the the performances were done really well, and just the story itself is very fascinating. So yeah, I'm keen to check it out. I think that's going to be my March movie of the month, going to the cinema of the month, for me to go and see if I can find a way to see it, because I feel like it's on its way out. By the look of the session times for some of the cinemas. So I might have to be quick about going and checking it out. But yeah, no. Big congratulations to everybody who was nominated, and especially to those who won the awards. Congratulations to everyone.
Absolutely, congratulations. Well said, Fulya. Thank you. Mike, I know you love it. Tell me your thoughts.
No Australians won, so who cares? Guy Pearce was robbed.
Guy Pearce was robbed.
Memoir of a Snail was robbed. Nosferatu was robbed. Yeah, it's fine, I guess. I haven't seen many of them. As same. If you think I don't like the Oscars, I absolutely detest the Razzies because I think it's just. It was fun at the start. It was like, oh yeah, haha, but they're smelling their farts too much, and they think they're pristine. It's not. It's stupid. It's stupid, and sometimes just in bad faith, really. And I'm happy that Coppola made them have a cop an earful. It's like, whatever. There's art, damn it. And yeah, it's just the worst screen combo of Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga. That was the fucking point. I cannot express enough that I did like that film. And it was meant to be making fun of people who actually liked the first one. Is it?
Yeah.
Anyway, what can you do? Stupid's gonna stupid. I'm done.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you, Mike.
Makes me want to watch Madam Web even more. Anyway.
Oh, I'd love to see that. All right, let's move on out of the news now and roll on up to the trailer park.
Rolling up to the trailer park where we all park all the trailers.
Hey, so it's trailer park time, and kicking us off this week is finally our first proper trailer for Andor Season 2. Hello. Let's
Did
go.
anyone else think that this had a really weird music, like background music for this trailer? It just sounded like some other movie that's like with the rock music, and I just was like, huh? It seems so weird. It didn't sound sci-fi enough.
No.
Andor is not Star Wars. Good.
It's still sci-fi.
Whatever.
No, see, I understand Fulya's thoughts on that because it is very jarring to hear a song like this with a Star Wars property. However, I'm on Mike's side, not that there's sides, but I agree more with Mike only for the fact of like, I feel like Andor comes in with this trailer, it's 90 seconds, it doesn't overstay its welcome, and then it opens by saying Andor Season 1 was so critically lauded by fans and everyone. Like, it's real, they're really like,
all the reviews.
You know, like, they're just really saying, remember us? Yeah, we're back. And we're better, and we're still good.
We remember the best Star Wars thing that ever happened.
Yeah.
So
it
essentially,
literally
they know they're good and they're just boasting it.
Absolutely, they're coming in hot and they're just strutting. They're just like, look, here we are. Like,
guys, don't look at explosions.
Like, just the choice of music really was just like, I think it leaned into that whole theme for me. So I thought it was a really good teaser. You know, it's not a story trailer. It's not telling us what we're going to be watching. It's just kind of checking back in with where all our characters are a little bit and showing us, what's going on. Yeah, lots of explosions, lots of Andor being sneaky, and all the characters just being sneaky. It's just the sneaky Star Wars show, really, at the end of the day. Yeah, it looks great. I don't really have a lot to say other than I just love the choice of music as well, and the boldness of the trailer, and it's just got me hyped. It's got me pumped to return to this show, and not just a return to Star Wars, but to return to this show specifically, because it was great. The first season was phenomenal, and I'm really looking forward to two things. One, to seeing K2SO again, because he's got to be in it, damn it. And two, just to seeing how this show sticks the landing and backs itself up very nicely into Rogue One. So, let's go. Let's
Yeah, let's
freaking go.
fucking go.
Let's fucking go. Fulya, what did you think? Apart from the music.
Apart from the music being a bit jarring for me, the trailer was good. I'm very excited for season 2. I can't wait to see where they go with it. Should be fun. I feel like the more drama that they put into this, it's gonna be even better. And considering where it's gonna end up. So now we're getting some more of the the dog fights in the flight in the jets and the spaceships and stuff like that. So it looks like it's ramping up to a really good crescendo. So I'm really looking forward to actually seeing this second season to see where it goes. There's going to be a lot more political drama happening as well. So that'll be interesting to see. And what's his name? That pops up there. The one in the. Oh my gosh, names to faces. Jeez Louise. Hold
Don't
on.
worry, I can't remember anyone's name.
Oh
So
my
you're not alone.
goodness. Oh my goodness. What's his name?
Forrest
I am forgetting
Whitaker?
the name. Hey?
Forrest Whitaker? His character?
Yeah. I think that's
Saw Gerrera?
So yes.
Saw
Oh
Gerrera.
my gosh. Wow. That was just hurt my head.
It's alright. Star Wars has got too many characters.
Yeah. Look, I'm looking forward to seeing him. I'm looking forward to seeing Stellan Skarsgård again as Luthen. Cyril as well is going to be really cool.
Yeah, Cyril, let's go.
The things that we left off with him. Man, there's like a lot of people, and I am so looking forward to it. So it's going to be really good.
Hell yeah. Mike, I'm so excited to hear your thoughts on this trailer. How did you find it?
You're excited? Fill these nipples! I am so pumped. Ah, I thought, trailer, sweet, go see it. And then I had my earpiece in and it was like, goosebumps. I love it. I love the choices. I love everything. I love that this is the most un-Star Wars movie that there's ever Star Wars. And yeah, I can't wait. Ben Mendelsohn, Krennic. We're going to see Krennic. Yes.
Mendo's coming back.
Mendo. And you saw him in Cosy, so
yes,
he was playing a nice guy in that one.
Yeah,
He's not so nice in this one.
No.
Can't wait. A lot of the way things are going, that it could also could tie into like the Rebels TV show as well. So we could have mentions of them as well, because in Rogue One it's a blink and you miss it shot that Chopper's in there somewhere. So just little George going around. So I know they probably not going to do it because they don't really do the it's like, hey, remember this character? This character's in this. But come on, just for once, can we just see them? Just once.
Just one time, guys.
Just one time. I mean, we've sort of seen them all in live action, so come on, just a little tie-in, just a little one. And hopefully, do you know the story that originally they were going to drop the first F-bomb in the first season.
Oh, I think I remember hearing about that. Yes.
Please, please do it. Do it for me. Do it for the people.
Do it for Mike.
Do it for
Bring
me.
it into the season. Bring it into season 2.
Bring it in season 2. I want to see Krennic just go, oh fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. Have the Aussie guy do it. Like.
Yeah, it just makes sense.
He's allowed to.
I'm chomping at the bit at this, and they're going to release it like like Arcane. They're going to do three episodes a week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so each one's going to be an arc. So having a look.
Okay. Yeah, they are too. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, wow. It's 12 episodes.
Yeah. All up 12 episodes.
And
We're gonna
4
have
story arcs.
we're gonna have a lot to discuss on the pod.
Oh my goodness.
It's gonna be an epic popcorn culture those weeks.
You know what?
Holy
All right.
shit.
Okay, make sure no trailers.
No
when
trailers.
we do this.
One bit of news. The biggest piece of news. And
Andor.
I didn't watch
season
any.
2, go.
Yeah. I didn't watch anything that week. I just watched Andor.
Andor.
Yeah. I love it. I love the enthusiasm. This is great.
Speaking of which, when is this coming out, Kendall?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, it's pretty close. We're just under 2 months, Andor will begin its dropping upon us on the 22nd of April.
Ah, we are so excited.
Star Wars is back, baby.
Star Wars is freaking back. Let's go. Holy
Yep.
shit. All right. I love the hype. Okay, next trailer. This is the second trailer for the upcoming A24 film called Death of a Unicorn. I saw the first trailer for this at the cinema, only having heard about it, and the first trailer blew my mind. And then the second trailer came out, so I'm like, okay, now I have an excuse to talk about it. Because this movie looks really, really interesting. Taking a fantastical creature, and then subverting it and turning it into a monster, but not doing it in like a, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey sort of style. It's more of a just, kind of a satire, like a comedy horror, I suppose, in a way. But I love the cast in this film. We've got, of course, why am I blanking? Jenna Ortega. I nearly fucking forgot her name. Jenna Ortega, Paul Rudd, Will Poulter, Taya Leone. Some great actors here. Yeah, it just looks like it's going to be a weird time where rich people get their comeuppance because, like the makers of Jurassic Park, they just shouldn't have messed with the science. They should have just let things be.
What is it with Richard E. Grant playing these characters? Surely he's playing the same character in Saltburn.
Oh yeah, Richard E. Grant's in this too. Fucking my sick brain. Yes, of course, Richard E. Grant. Yeah, it probably is like a secret sequel to Saltburn for him. Yeah, he's good. Yeah, I can't wait to watch this. This looks like a really interesting film, and a very fun time. But just wacky and weird, and it's A24, so it's gonna be good. So bring it on, I say. Fulya, I'm really curious for your thoughts on this one. What did you think?
This trailer did not give off any kind of comedy to me at all. I did not get, if there were any jokes in it, I didn't get any of them. It looked very serious, sort of thrillery horror kind of a trailer.
Yeah, I will say the first trailer's cut more comedically. So it's
right.
it's interesting that they've cut it
Right.
so that the tone is a bit different here.
Because I was gonna say there was nothing that I got from Paul Rudd that was like funny in any way in this trailer, and I thought this was like is probably going to be one of those drama pieces for him that he was gonna pull out into. But now that you've said that, now that I'm looking at the IMDb and it says dark comedy in it, I'm like, oh, okay, right. I missed something. But no, this is not for me. No, probably not going to watch it.
No, that's fair enough. That's fair enough.
I'm
Yeah.
good.
Mike, what about you? Are you interested in this one?
I'm down the clown. I'm full of this. Considering I've got a daughter that's really into unicorns, it's like, I cannot wait to show you this. It's like, this is Daddy's unicorn. See, he's using the horn for goodness. Because you don't kill a baby unicorn because mummy comes home. I'm more than happy. I really like the first trailer. I think I prefer this first trailer than this one.
Same, yeah.
There's not really much to it. They add to it, except for, you get to see the first trailer, and then the second trailer is more like a sequel to the first trailer, where they already know that they exist, so therefore they go out in the forest to see if they can hunt down more mythical creatures. Where in the first trailer, Jenna Ortega and Paul Rudd's character is driving to the estate, and they hit the unicorn, and it dies on the road. So they put it in the boot, and then they lift up the boot and just like, is that a fucking unicorn? And then so on and so on. So it is funny. I assure you, it is funny. If you can get over the boys episode that's got the supernatural guys, think more supernatural. It's a supernatural thing. Of this giant unicorn that's impaling people with horns. No wall.
Yeah, I don't know.
No. Okay.
Nah, I think I'm good.
All right. So where's this coming out before I start coughing?
Death of a Unicorn will be released in cinemas on the 10th of April.
Man, everything's coming out in April.
Everything's coming out in April. Even this next item that we're going to talk about, this next trailer, which is for Doctor Who.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're calling it season 2, but I feel like it's weird to call it season 2.
I refuse to call it season 2.
It's
New
season
2.
Season 15? 16? I don't know what you call it. Anyway. It's the new Doctor Who.
Yeah. Or, hold on. I need to do math in my head. Talk amongst yourself.
This trailer was great. I'm really pumped for the upcoming season after watching this.
Season 42.
Yeah. Season 42?
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you. Well done. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to watching this and getting to know the new companion. Speaking of Andor, same actress from the first season of Andor, and she was also in the previous season of this iteration of Doctor Who, and they referenced that in the trailer. So I was really pleased to see that. They didn't specify if they were confirming if they're the same person or if it's a doppelganger situation or what it is, but they acknowledged it, and it made me happy. So I'm like, very cool. Of course, we get to see Ruby Sunday. She's here. She's back in a brief brief clip. Also the creepy lady whose name escapes me right now.
Mrs. Flood.
Mrs. Flood. She was in the trailer as well. Kind of cool to see her back. And then some really interesting stories going on. There's some animation happening and other fantastical things. There was one shot of something that it's left my brain now, but I remember going, oh, that looks really interesting. But yeah, so it looks fun. It looks really cool. I can't really wait at all to see this and to see more of Shooty Gutwa's Doctor, who is just wonderful. So yeah, bring it on. Bring it on. Fulya, what did you think of the Doctor Who season 2 trailer?
It looks like we're going to be going for a wild ride, including going to a version of the Eurovision Song Contest.
Yes! Yes!
What?
Oh my god, yes. That's
Why?
exciting. Why not? Why not, Fulya? Why not?
A space version of the Eurovision Song Contest.
This is how Britain, the UK, this is how they get the votes, right? This is how they get the votes. This is how they win 2025 Eurovision.
I am so curious to know when that particular episode airs, and if it's the week of Eurovision. Holy crap. Those ratings.
I think it is, actually.
I feel like the timing seems to be right.
Intentional.
They could very much time it.
Yeah. Oh, man. That's going to be an interesting watch. But, yeah, it looks like it's going to be a wild ride. Like, we're going to be going into so many places. It's really cool that we're getting to see, what's her name coming in again? Oh my gosh. Me with names today. It's not great. Varada Sethu.
Yes.
Yes. Belinda Chandra, as her character's name is. It's really cool to see her become the companion for this particular season. And, it's from what we've seen, there's going to be quite a few period sort of times that we're going to be going to. I like the look of the fact that they're going back into I think it's like the 50s at one point, which is going to be really cool. Love the outfits from that era. So the costumes are going to be on point for sure during that time. But yeah, it looks like there's got to be, it's like the drama's just getting more and more heightened for each episode that we're going to be getting. So yeah, I think we're in for a good time.
I think we are too. I think we are too. Mike, how are you feeling as our resident Whovian? What are the vibes for you watching this trailer?
Pretty hyped for this. Unfortunately, not as hyped as Endor, but it is what it is. But it makes me feel like just seeing the stuff that is in this and the buzz online. It looked like there's they're only taking stuff from the first half of the series, so nothing in later half. So not to get spoiled for anything, but the animation one is going to be interesting, where this sort of creature that's also an animation is that is coming to life. Is voiced by Alan Cumming, which is going to be
cool.
Yeah,
love him.
Yeah, he's coming back to Doctor Who, which is cool. So that's a bit of fun, and also working out what it is that this character from Boom, and they make a reference to that Boom, the episode. How come I can see you again? It's weird. You got the same face, even though history dictates that there's more than one face in Doctor Who that can return. So that's going to be interesting, and also Miss Flood as well. Ruby Stundate's coming back. And something about stories. So stories is going to be interesting. The God of Stories. Are we still doing gods?
Are we still doing gods?
Yeah, can't wait for this. So it's going to be on Disney Plus. So everything's on Disney Plus. And then coming out in April. The 12th.
Yes, Mike. Yeah.
This is right. Speaking of Doctor Who.
Yes. Yes. Speaking of Doctor Who, as we roll on out of Trailer Park, we head straight into the moment, the section, the time, the place, the wibbly, the wobbly,
lark.
the timey-wimey we love to call
Talking Who. We're talking Who.
Talking
Talk on
Who.
culture.
Talking Who. I'm out of batteries.
Oh no!
It's Sonic. It's a gun.
It's a gun. No,
a
it's
gun.
a screwdriver.
That doesn't lock anymore.
Oh. It's a
That's
broken
right.
Sad face.
screwdriver.
It needs repairs.
And the buttons don't work.
No.
I need to buy a new one.
Need a new one.
You know what would be really cool? If kind of like what Galaxy's Edge is doing, where you can build your own lightsaber, if there was a place where you could go, it's a Doctor theme park, and then you can actually build your own sonic screwdriver. That'd be cool.
I think there was like a toy that came out not too long ago that actually had like different parts and you can make your own.
Oh, really?
So,
okay, that's cool.
Similar, but no, but meh.
Yes. Well, it is time, and we're back again for another week with some Doctor Who discussion. We're going to be talking about Series 6, Episode 9, Night Terrors. And it's kind of a standalone horror mystery sort of episode. And yeah, I guess my overall thoughts, I thought it was fine. Like it's not really one for the books. Kind of like you could take or leave this episode. Like it just feels like kind of a standard Doctor Who adventure. There's not really a lot to it. I will say that the dolls that they made for this were fucking creepy. So big tick on the scare factor there. That was really, really cool. But yeah, it was really interesting, and I kind of like the way Doctor Who kind of, does these mysteries where you're trying to guess what's going on, and then like they just reveal it slowly and but surely and misdirect you and whatnot. And I was like sitting there guessing, and I'm like, I said I guess pretty early that the kid had something to do with whatever the monsters were, and that Rory and Amy were in the cupboard. I was like, I bet they're in the cupboard. So I was very happy with myself about that. But but yeah. So it was kind of fun in that way, where I was just sitting there guessing, like, oh, what's happening and who's doing what and all of that stuff. So yeah. So it was fine, and I liked Matt Smith's performance in this episode a lot. I thought he was really great with little George, listening to him and trying to talk him around and everything. And he's just great. He's just a really good Doctor. I really like Matt Smith. So yeah, those are my overall thoughts on the episode. Fulya, how did you go watching this one, given it was a bit more of a creepy one for you?
Well, this is like my second time watching through it, so I kind of figured I wasn't as creepy as what it would have been the first time when I watched it. But yeah, no, this was it's an interesting episode. And yes, those dolls are creepy AF. I just don't like the no soul looking eyes. Just dead eyes.
You don't like a room full of dolls?
Not those kind of dolls, no.
Nah.
The whole premise of, George and with his fears and the fact that he's just afraid of everything. And whenever he's afraid of something, it just gets locked away in the cupboard. And then it ends up becoming a bigger sort of a thing that ends up happening where he has to face his fears essentially. Overall it was a really good episode. But one of those type of episodes where you're like, okay, cool, I've watched it. Moving on. So yeah.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Excellent. Mike, how did this go
Hello.
on the rewatch for you? Is this another one of those, like, how you said last week, like, this is about the time that I kind of tuned out from this? Does this
Yeah.
fall into that category for you?
It is, because I had no memory of it.
Oh, wow.
So I probably watched it all the way back in 2011, whenever it came out. So, and it was probably the last time. And I probably watched it on a rewatch, because I think I rewatched Matt Smith I don't know, 3 years ago. So, but I have no memory of it, because unfortunately this series had an overarching narrative, and this particular episode, as well as the Doctor's wife, had nothing to do with the actual plot of the overarching story, and especially when we've just come off the previous episode where it was definitely ramping up to be something, and then we got this detour, and they didn't really mention what was going on, that they're trying to find Amelia Pond, but no, the Doctor got a message and he needs to drop everything and go to it. So all in all, it is a good episode for Doctor Who in general, but for a rewatch all the way through, it can be missed, unfortunately. But it's an okay episode. It does remind me of a previous episode, Fear Her, or the one where it's set in the not too distant future of 2012, where it was the Olympics, and the Doctor and Rose have to battle a child again with a child's memories and writing and all that. So it sort of has a similar sort of vein of that.
Yeah, I
and
remember that one.
apparently not a lot of people like that episode, but here nor there. What was I going to say? It was good and creepy. I liked it. Mark Gatiss is the writer, so
yeah,
another Mark Gatiss episode, and yeah, just had the creep factor up to 11, and emotionless dolls, children doing nursery rhymes in the dark and just giggling, It's going to creep someone out. Creep everyone out.
Yeah.
And overall, it was an okay one, and it does because I've been rewatching Doctor Who, old series Doctor Who, and it definitely has that sort of feel with that of these sort of creatures that are clearly people dressed up, but it's still atmospherically creepy. So I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Nice. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, I was going to ask your opinion actually on something, because when I first started watching this one, I was kind of struck by just the initial premise of it. How often, or how likely, or just how well does it work for you, Mike, of the Doctor just being able to be contacted like that and just going, well, I guess we've got to go take care of this. Does it feel a bit convenient to kickstart the story, or does that something that's a bit plausible because later we find out, oh, he's actually an alien and he's quite powerful, so therefore the power of him and the monsters has managed to stretch through space and time to get to the TARDIS.
Yeah, like with this iteration, it's definitely harkens to like the fairy tale aspect of Doctor Who, and they definitely play a lot of a lot with that of mythical creatures and all this sort of thing. And with the messaging on the psychic paper, that does happen often, and yeah, so yeah, Doctor Who is full of conveniences. I mean, with the first Doctor, a lot of a lot of stories is they land somewhere because the Doctor doesn't know how to pilot the TARDIS back then, and for some inexplicable reason, the TARDIS gets abducted or it doesn't work and they can't get in because otherwise they say, okay, nothing here, let's go. It's the plot trying to try to justify itself by continuing, and this is sort of similar. That the Doctor says, "Oh, there's a mystery here. Why am I getting contacted by this kid that's living in a council flat?" It's like, "Ooh, this is mysterious. This is cool. I like to do this." And he's a very very inquisitive Doctor, and yeah, and I do agree. I do like this version of the Matt Smith Doctor of playing both sides of the big spirited, like boyish sort of charm and just having fun. But then when shit hits fan, serious Roger, I'm getting scared of this cupboard. And the Moffat era is very good with turning the mundane into something scary, like Weeping Angels or even these China dolls or even in the future, sand's scary, or even the sleep in your eye is scary, and that's a spoiler for a future episode.
Ooh, I'll probably forget it.
That's right. That's why I say it. No. Focus, damn you.
Focus. Cool. Well, I was just while you were talking, I was just looking into the Tenza, which is what the what cute sweet little George turns out to be.
Yeah.
Which was I kind of didn't see that coming. I mean I knew there was something about him. Obviously, like we can tell there's something going on here, but I felt like it was more of a case of he's a human boy, and for some reason, this monster thing or this power has latched itself to him. I didn't actually think that he was like, an alien. But I kind of like the idea of this alien creature that's, it just assimilates because it wants to be wanted or it wants to fulfill a role in someone's life like this. Like the scene where we find out that you know his quote unquote parents couldn't actually have kids, and that they'd forgotten that because of the what did the Doctor call it? The perception filter? Is that what it is?
Perception filter, yeah.
Yeah. So that was all that exposition and learning like about him. I think that was probably my favorite part of the episode. Because it was really cleverly done, and I think Daniel Mays, the actor who played Alex, the George's father, I thought he handled that, like he performed that reveal like really really well. And he was kind of a highlight of the episode for me too. So, but yeah, the Tenza are kind of fascinating species, and then like just for him at the end, imagining, oh, I now I have to go through the rest of my life, knowing that, well, or maybe forgetting, maybe the perception filter will be like, make him forget, but like knowing that his kid isn't actually his kid.
Yeah.
And then just the whole thing of like George being scared of everything because he thought he was being rejected, and and it's just, there's a lot of interesting metaphors going on.
Yeah. It's
yeah.
It's the creature trying to think, okay, what is to human, to is human. So
Yeah.
trying to work that out. Yeah, a lot of parallels with yeah. What was I saying? For some reason, I know it's weird, but for some reason I was thinking Buffy's sister. That sort of stuff.
Yeah. The way Dawn gets introduced is she's kind of, because she's not a real human either. So, but yeah, different circumstances, obviously. But yeah, same thing. Not a real person, but assimilates as such. So, yeah. Fulya, what did you think of George and the idea of the Tenza in this episode?
And know that there was a name for it, or maybe I just wasn't paying attention. Probably wasn't.
Fine.
It's fine. But yeah, no, just it was interesting to find out that George was essentially the adopted son of Alex and his partner. And yeah, also the fact that it took the doctor to just flick through a photo album to figure out, especially back then when photos actually came with a date stamp on it, and it like would so that when you took the photos, just by looking at the dates of when the woman didn't have wasn't pregnant at a party, and then what was it, like a day or two later there was a baby. So, well, that was sort of like, that was interesting to see. It's like, oh, okay, this doesn't seem right. The fact that he was afraid of everything was just, and the amount of hyperventilating that he did in this episode because of how scared he was from everything. I thought to myself, man, that kid must have needed an oxygen mask by the end of the episode.
Oh yeah.
That kind of freaked me out a little bit, because I'm like, if that was a normal human kid and he was scared of everything, and they were hyperventilating a lot, they'd pass out. So, yeah, it was interesting to meet George and see where it all went, and every time something happened and it was scary for him, needs to go straight into the closet. Yeah, so that was interesting. Yeah, but then it was nice to see the doctor come in and try to calm him down, especially when Alex was confronted by the landlord for rent. And so the doctor was like, okay, we're just going to distract the kid so that he's not looking out there, and he's just all here and present. And there's nothing wrong with showing him a little bit of science magic, some little spacey timey-wimey magic. But then he gets involved with the whole, there's nothing to be afraid of. Why don't we check to see what's going on in this cupboard? And then uses his sonic screwdriver and is like, ooh, maybe we shouldn't open this cupboard. Oh no, this is not good. We can't go into that cupboard. It's
There's
off the
something
charts.
in there.
Why is it off the charts? So that was a good scene as well. So I did really enjoy that. But yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mike, do you have any other thoughts on George, the Tenza, as a concept of a creature for Doctor Who?
I mean, if you think about it for too long, the ramifications of this random creature deciding to latch itself to and they're expecting like couple who are trying to have a baby, and just the heartbreak with that, and just the like this whole episode sort of setting itself up for a sequel. It's like, what is to happen? I mean, not to cut to the end, but what does happen when George becomes like adolescent, teenager, even adult? What's going to happen there? When they finally leave house, is it going to be like E.T.? It's like, I'll be right here, and just shoots up. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure there's a story out there that continues this story. Yeah.
Yeah, there probably is. Yeah. Cool. Well, I guess we could talk about the creepy side of this episode. I kind of really liked how a lot of the transitions into the cupboard, essentially into the dollhouse, happened. Like with the older lady, who was complaining. Was she complaining to the doctor? I can't remember. Yeah, she was. Yeah, the doctor was got her when they were doing the door knocking. And then she took the trash down and got sucked into the trash. That was a bit of fun. And then just Amy and Rory like falling in this lift that just goes way deeper than it should have. And I just really like Rory's instant reaction of, we're dead, we died, the lift fell, and we're dead. This is we've died again. Like it's just becoming a recurring thing now. It's like this is their life. I thought that was a bit of fun.
Death has no meaning.
Death has no meaning. But I think for me, hands down, like the creepiest moment of the episode, or moments, were just the two we saw of people turning into the dolls. That was really well done. Like very clever use of like cinematography mixed with the practical and visual effects that they had. Just kind of filmmaking tricks that they used to do it. I thought was really, really, really cool. But I suppose the stakes were removed for me when Amy was turned into a doll, because I'm like, oh, okay, well, if Amy's a doll, then everything's gonna be fine.
And the reaction from Rory and the doctor went, okay.
Yeah,
there's
there's like,
shit.
oh great, now we gotta figure out how to turn her back somehow. But yeah, that was pretty spectacularly terrifying, and just I kind of felt bad for Amy and Rory having to run around in this dark place for so long by themselves, not knowing how to get out and whatnot, and they're being chased. Yeah, it did not. Yeah, it just did nothing.
They had
it just
nothing to do.
No. Well, that's the other thing. It's like Mark Gatiss with the script, like he's like, well, I guess I'll just write them, because we can't have them in the room with George and Alex and the doctor, and like here's Amy and Rory. Like it's just So it kind of feels like he has to put them in a spot and give them a B plot of sorts that will eventually connect up, and that's fine. It's television. So.
I think the original concept is to have the companions sort of light in story, because they were filming they were going to film something back to back, but they sort of changed it and said, oh shit, what is Rory and Amy going to do? I was like, they just do this, I guess. So I think it was more production wise reasons than than actually Mark Gatiss going, "Oh shit, there's companions here. What do we do?"
Right. Okay, that makes more sense, I guess.
Yeah, like
Makes more sense.
like the Lodger.
Yeah,
from
yeah.
previous season, where
Yeah.
Amy was just trapped in the TARDIS and just going around everywhere. It was like, "Whoa," and then the Doctor has a little adventure with James Gordon. There we go.
Oh, funny. But yeah. So I kind of appreciated the creepy elements, and like and then just like the realization that they were in a dollhouse. Like, why is everything made of wood and all of this? Yeah, it was very clever. Fulia, what did you think? How did you go with them being in the dollhouse and the all the spookiness of it?
Yeah, it took me a moment to realize that they were actually in the dollhouse. I think the moment that Amy picked up the saucepan that was supposed to look like a copper saucepan, and then she's like, no, it's painted copper, but it's just made of wood. And then as they were walking through, I was like, oh wait, hold on, I remember now, they're in the dollhouse. And yeah, in this second watch through, and I almost forgot that they were in the dollhouse. And so yeah, the fact, and especially I think I love the line that Rory gives of, that he's like, where are the lights? I miss lights. You remember how grandma used to say, you don't know what you miss when it's gone. And that line was just like, it was hilarious. And then Amy's like, you're panicking. Stop it.
Stop it.
Yeah. And then lo and behold, they open the door and they come across one of those dolls. And then Amy's like, okay, we can panic now. And they just run. So, yeah, just the fact that they have to walk around this place in the darkness because dollhouses weren't really made to have lights in them. And
especially when
so
they're in a cupboard.
Yeah, especially when they're in a cupboard. But then seeing these dolls that with these awkwardly shaped big heads and the and the soulless eyes, just they were very, very creepy, to say the least, with all the cracks through their face and all that sort of stuff. So I'm assuming that sort of like supposed to be like a porcelain doll kind of a situation. When they opened the drawer and there was this giant glass eye that was in there, took me aback for a second. I'm like, holy crap, what the heck? And then I was waiting as Rory went to touch it, and I just was like, please don't move. I didn't want it to move, and I'm like, I'm so glad it didn't. But yeah, the dollhouse was very well done. The lighting in there, just definitely gave you the heebie-jeebies of them walking through the dollhouse. And especially whenever you heard the dolls giggling, sort of like down the hall.
Jesus Christ, like those giggles. Oh.
Those giggles, and then they'll just you'll see this shadow sort of waft past in the distance, and yeah, it was interesting to say this. And then all of a sudden, they're there behind you. You look in the mirror, they're there behind you, and you're like, jeez Louise, go away.
Stop being behind me.
Personal space.
Yeah, they're just like, we just want to play. It's playtime. And I'm like, go away.
Come play with us, Danny.
No.
No thanks.
No,
good.
no thank you.
The
way that everybody got into the actual dollhouse was also really interesting, because it wasn't all the same. Everybody was a bit different in the way they got in there. So, Amy and Rory was the elevator. the old lady went down for the trash, put her hand through, and then got sucked in to the trash heap. The landlord got sucked into his own carpet flooring.
and then
um,
and then the poltergeist getting sucked into the cupboard.
Poltergeist.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That one was interesting for me only because of the fact that it's like like George is now afraid of both of them, and he's like, I just want both of you to go away. Just get locked away in this cupboard. And the amount of suction power that had on both of them was really interesting. So yeah. Yeah, the way, yeah, it was not, it was really cool to just see how everybody ended up going into the dollhouse because it was all different.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Mike, what did you make of the dollhouse and the creepy elements, the dolls and everything?
Well, this is when the horror sort of kicks in. Very
Yeah.
dark and gloomy, and children in corridors. It's scary. And as a person with children, they're scary in the dark. Especially if you don't know that they're there. They're like, Dad, what? Can I have a drink? Damn it. All right. Yeah, creep factor up to 11. It's all good. Can't really add too much. This is like when the story sort of does start to kick in.
Yeah.
On the creepness.
On the creepness, the creep factor. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know if I have a whole lot left to say about the episode. Really. I mean, we could just talk about the ending if we wanted to. Yeah.
The power of love. Power of parent love saved us.
Yeah. It's a very wholesome episode when it comes down to it. And you know, it's kind of really nice that, you know, the Doctor is able to reach out to George and get him to realize that he's in control. But then it takes Alex to fully accept him as his son, and you know, to make everything kind of work out in the end. And yeah, and it's kind of a nice climax because we know, like, we know no one's going to die, but like, it's just, I don't know, it's filmed pretty well, the intensity and how they're able to kind of make these oversized, weird, creepy looking dolls sort of menacing as they're closing in on them from all sides. And you know, and poor Amy's been turned into one, and it's just all a bit hopeless. But yeah, but it's a cool, sweet message that, you know, just because he's not his biological father doesn't mean he's not his father. It doesn't mean he can't look up. His foster father, exactly. Doesn't mean he can't look after him and care for him and keep him safe and love him, exactly. So it's really sweet to see a message like that, you know, in a show like this. So yeah, I really liked the ending of the episode, and then of course the creepy little reference again to the Doctor's upcoming death day with the nursery rhyme.
This is part of an overarching story.
Yes, don't forget about this. Don't forget about this.
Because the original run for this was going to be at the start, basically, of the series, but they changed it up a bit.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that's fair enough. Fulya, what did you think of the ending?
Yeah, it was kind of like a really sweet moment of making sure that the only way that they could be saved is, you know, George just needed to know that he wasn't being rejected by his dad. So it was up to Alex to buck up the courage and be like, "Hey, this is my kid. Like, even if he wasn't born from us, we've looked after him this long, and we love him, we care for him. So we just need to give him a reassuring hug to let him know, hey, we're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. You're my son. I love you," kind of a situation. And just, so that he knows that he's loved and wanted.
That's right.
And that's going to give George that courage to, the courage to face his fears of that sort of stuff. Whether it may not just be monsters in the cupboard. It's just his inner fears, to sort of face those ones as well.
Yeah.
Inner fears and insecurities.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. Yeah. But I can't imagine. I wonder what that conversation is like from Alex. Being like, now George, just remember, don't get too scared about anything, because it'll actually turn into something that could hurt people. And like, that's just gonna. I can just see that spiraling for poor little George.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was handled well.
Yeah.
You know what would be really cool if, it probably won't ever happen, but if, at some point in the future, they bring George back into Doctor Who, but he's older.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
That would be fun. Let's visit
see where
George
he's at,
again.
what's happened.
Yeah. What's he what kind of mischief is he up to these days?
What's he up to?
What are
What's
you
he up to
today?
What's he doing? Cool. Thank you, Fulya. Mike, your final thoughts. How did the ending go for you?
Probably when I watched it for the first time, it's like, this is sappy. Too sappy. We won through the power of love. And now being an adult and being a parent myself, it's like, yeah, I kind of get it. You dealt with the hands that you're given, and yeah, even if it is your foster parent and your foster son, it's still going to be with them for the remainder of your life, and yeah, and I do so much appreciate that they could have gone down the route of it being like a dad being rejecting like everything, because there's not, I'm gonna get on my soapbox here, but there's not too many good dads out there in TV land, and it's nice and refreshing to just to have one every now and again. Like coming to terms of not my flesh and blood, but still my feelings towards George are still valid at the end of the day. So I do appreciate them going down that route, and yeah, and I probably don't need a sequel to this. It's like, yeah, they're probably done all right. Back to you before I cough.
Yep, that's fair enough. Okay, all right. Well, I think that might call it there for our thoughts on Night Terrors, unless there's anything else someone wants to touch on before we go.
No, it was a good episode.
What do we think of the next episode? There's a little teaser.
Yeah, what was the... Oh yeah, there's two Amy's. One of them's old. And
robots are chasing him.
Yes. And there's some interesting things going on. I'm curious. I'm very curious.
I've forgotten what that episode was about when I saw that, and I'm like, that happened? Huh?
Yeah, it's one of those. Oh yeah, this is another story that doesn't resolve anything, but
great.
It's an interesting one because I do remember that one.
Okay, I like interesting.
and a bit contentious. In the fandom.
Ooh.
Mm.
I look forward to discussing that next week then,
Yeah.
if that's what we decide to talk about.
With older Amy and younger Amy.
Mm.
And then Rory has to decide.
Yeah, it's the substance.
That's great.
Which one do you choose?
Which one do you choose?
Give me Demi Moore and all her cellulite glory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's
My
great.
taste in women has changed ever since becoming like old.
Hey, it's
Give
good.
me
It's natural.
Papa
It's
Top.
healthy.
We don't want no skinny bitches. Yeah. Anyway.
Love it. Cool. Well, that's it. That's Popcorn Culture. That's Talkin' Who. Our thoughts on Series 6, Episode 9, Night Terrors. If you watched or listened, we appreciate you. Hope you enjoyed it. That was a big, epic podcast. Thank you both.
Yeah.
We made it. We successfully made it through coughs and cricks and all. Everything going on. We got there.
Yep.
Well done. Yeah, golf clap to us. Golf clap. Well done. Love it. Until next week. A 1, a 2, a 3. And that
was a
was
podcast.
podcast called Friend. Remember to eat beef.
Remember to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Blue Sky for the latest Fred the Alien content. If you like to listen to Fred the Alien, you can find us on SoundCloud, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. If you like to watch Fred the Alien, go on, Fulya.
If you'd like to watch Fred the Alien, you can head over to youtube.com/Fred the Alien Production. If you're watching us right now, make sure to like the video,
my
subscribe
God.
to the channel, hit the bell icon to be notified of future goodness. And if you're watching us live over on Twitch, make sure to give us a follow. Twitch.tv/Fred the Alien Twitch.
I've somehow been a Kendall Richardson.
I've been a Fulya Katarmaja.
And I am been coughing and spluttering, a Michael Lister.
And
And you just experienced
a podcast
called
Friend.
Friend.
Now you can remember to eat beef, damn it.
Remember, Freddy lives, Loki dies, the Doctor is in, and I'm guessing this is the end of the podcast, I guess.
Remember to look after yourself and your mental health, everyone.
Yes, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Laters, gators. And